Dear survivor, I don't know if you ever thought we'd make it here. I don't know if there was a version of you that believed life could feel different than this. Back then, you weren't thinking about healing. You weren't thinking about self-love. You weren't thinking about becoming the person you wanted to be. You were just trying to get through the day. Sometimes that's all you could do. And I need you to know something before I say anything else. I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of you. Not because you are perfect. Not because you always made the right choices. Not because you handled everything well. I'm proud of you because you stayed. You stayed through things that could have broken you. You stayed through disappointment you never talked about. You stayed through loneliness, through rejection, through fear. Through nights when nobody knew how much you were carrying, and somehow you kept going. I remember when going up felt safer than feeling. I remember when silence felt safer than honesty. I remember when being strong meant carrying everything alone. I remember when you convinced yourself that needing help was weakness. I remember when survival became your personality. You became so focused on making it through that you forgot what it felt like to simply live. You learned how to read a room before you entered it. You learned how to expect disappointment before it arrived. You learned how to protect yourself before anyone had a chance to hurt you. Those habits didn't come from nowhere. They came from pain. They came from fear. They came from having to grow too quickly. They came from learning lessons you should never have to learn. And for a long time, those habits kept you alive. So today, I don't want to judge you for them. I want to thank you for them. Thank you for doing the best you could with what you had. Thank you for carrying us through seasons that felt impossible. Thank you for refusing to give up when giving up would have been easier. But survivor, there is something I need you to hear. The things that protected us then may not be the things that heal us now. The walls that kept us safe can also keep love out. The armor that protected our hearts can become too heavy to carry. The survival mode that once saved us can become a prison if we never leave it. You don't have to stay there forever. You don't have to keep proving how strong you are. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to earn softness. You don't have to earn softness. You don't have to earn peace. You are allowed to have those things. You are allowed to laugh without waiting for something bad to happen. You are allowed to trust yourself again. You are allowed to build a life that feels safe. You are allowed to stop surviving and start living. And if you are listening to this while you are still in the middle of your hardest season, I want you to know that I see you. I know what it feels like when I know what it feels like when every day feels like a fight. I know what it feels like when nobody understands what you are carrying. I know what it feels like to wonder if things will ever change, to keep going, to keep breathing, to keep showing up for yourself. One day you look back and realize that this version of you carried you farther than you ever imagined. And if you have already made it out, don't forget her. Don't forget the version of yourself that survived. Don't speak about her with shame. Don't pretend she never existed. Don't abandon her just because you are becoming someone new. She deserves compassion too. She deserves gratitude too. She is the reason you are here. The truth is, healing isn't leaving her behind. Healing is taking her hand and bringing her with you. Healing is saying, I know why you became who you became. I understand what you are trying to do. I forgive you. I thank you. And now we get to learn something new. Not just survival. Also peace. Not just protection, but connection too. Not just getting through life, but living it. This letter is for the version of you that survived. And maybe it's also for the version of you that is still becoming. Stick with your letter. Stick with your healing. And most importantly, stick with yourself. Yeah.